But my network sucks, man.
Just like that
Yeah,
rhymes.
sure.
It
Yeah, sure.
sucks.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Very much
Away,
chance.
away, fede, fede, Owens. It's a
Yeah, sure.
Friday.
Yeah, sure.
Hey,
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Opa Freaky Friday. Good evening, football family. Welcome to Let's Argue Football, where we don't just review results, we dissect mindsets, we question decisions, and we challenge the narratives. This week, jam packed. Title races have shaken up in England, Catalarios in Spain, Italian pride has been bruised on the European continent, and in South Africa, the Giants reminded us why dynasties don't fade quietly. If you came here for safe opinions, guaranteed you're in the wrong show, bro. I'm Timulava Ultra featuring the Mood Engineer featuring Van Roy, and tonight we are asking the real questions. Are Arsenal bottling it? Is Serie A in a decline, or is Serie A in need of CPR, or is Serie A gonna pull off an Undertaker routine where they are going to raise up from the grave? Have Sundowns reclaimed the psychological control of the PSL? Let's not waste any time. Fanroy, I know you've been waiting to just jump in. What's up, homie?
yeah, sure. Owens, Thibaut, I've been waiting for this because there's smoke everywhere. Like every place is just on fire. Arsenal is wobbling. Barcelona handed Real Madrid the advantage. Milan missed a golden opportunity. And Juve, yo, bruh, that wasn't a defeat. That was demolition. You can call those people demolition man, huh? I think it was a 5-2 loss to
Straight
them. It
up.
was depressing and
Straight up.
disappointing.
That's some
But you know what? Here's the thing. Pressure reveals the truth, my friend. We are now at the stage of this season where mentality wins leagues, not talent, not moments of brilliance. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not interested in excuses. I want accountability from every team, from every league. And someone on this panel is about to come in with fireworks. Lebza, are you with us?
hey.
Oh, Roy,
Lebza,
Roy,
okay?
Roy, 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 you're absolutely right. This is the phase of the season where identity is exposed. You know what? You can't hide behind XG now. You can't hide behind any injuries, and you can't even hide behind the line. We are still rebuilding. Now, this phase is about courage, and Arsenal are learning what it means to be hunted. Barcelona just learned how fragile dominance can be. And in the PSL, Pirates, I think, got a reminder that champions don't ask permission. But here's what I want to argue tonight. Is this collapse or is this an evolution? Because sometimes pressure doesn't break you, it builds you. Watch what Hansi Flick is building. Gentlemen, the table is set. Let's argue, Tibo.
Yeah, sure, Chitas. Without any waste of time, let's deal with the small talk first. Kicking off with the FA Cup, there was some midweek action where we saw Macclesfield play against Brentford. Macclesfield were unable to recreate the magic of last month's FA Cup win over Crystal Palace, with Sam Heathcote own goal sending Brentford through to the fifth round in a 1-0 encounter after a spirited contest at the Moss Rose Stadium.
Yeah, and yeah. And coming at you with the EPL, on Wednesday night, we had a very, very humbling of a feature. We saw Wolves take on Arsenal. Wolves were at home. That match ended in a 2-all draw. Debuted Tom Edozie scored a dramatic last gasp equalizer as Wolves snatched a 2-2 draw to plunge Arsenal's Premier League title hopes further into doubt. And with that being said, the draw means Arsenal has dropped points in back-to-back games, and that basically leaves them with 5 points, basically ahead from second place, which is City. they're also having played one more game. So City have a game in hand. They're 5 points behind. I know that Arsenal is doing Arsenal things. Lebza.
Yeah, you know what? In Syria on Monday, the 16th, one of the shocking days of the week for me, Cagliari 0 and Lecce 2. So Lecce clinched a priceless 2-0 away win away, obviously, at Cagliari, as goals from Omri and also Ilbe moved them 3 points clear of the Serie A relegation zone. And I think right now, those small teams at the bottom are going to disturb some big teams at the top. Thibaut?
Yeah, no, listen, not only that, but we also saw AC Milan entertaining Como at the Giuseppe Meazza Stadium. AC Milan handed Inter Milan a huge Serie A title boost last night. And listen, they shared the spoils with Como once again. Milan slip up eased the impact for Inter's shock defeat to Bodo Glimt in the Champions League. Massimiliano Allegri's side desperately needed a win in this game in hand, of course, to stay in touching distance of runaway leaders Inter Milan. However, Mike Magnon's epic first half blunder helped Como snatch an away point as Rafael Leao leveled the score just after the hour mark.
Yeah, sure, yeah, sure. Just to add on to that, ne, guys, Bodo Glimt, ne, that team, bruh, that team is just doing the wonders. The way they, from the way they play to the way they score to winning matches, they grinding out that result. But anyway, we move on to the League of Stars. So on Monday we saw Girona face off Barcelona. Girona was at home. They won that game 2-1 to them. Barcelona have lost an action-packed Catalan derby away to a struggling Girona. That is very, very disappointing. And it's a result basically that means they have surrendered the top spot completely in the league, for, in my opinion, to Real Madrid. Tempers flew in the final minutes, but the game was otherwise a wonderful game. It was evident for the Catalan football. With, how can I put it? They had the wrong outcome. Okay, from the cooler point of view, they had the wrong outcome. Both teams in that match gave everything they actually had, and they moved to find a winner. But it was the home side who eventually found the net with 4 minutes of regular time remaining. Lebza? Lebza, you with us?
I'm with you, brother, but what happened is my network just kept cutting. So, look, what I was doing while I was actually waiting was telling you that I actually brought this bottle here to mourn Barcelona. You see here. Where is it? It just doesn't show. So I'm going to take a tot on behalf of Barcelona to say, man, what are you doing ruining my week? Because now everywhere I had to hide in the gym. But anyway, on Wednesday in La Liga, 18th Feb, Villarreal consolidated their place in La Liga's top four with the 1-0 win at Levante, leaving the hosts with just one win in their last 7 games. Now, Villarreal beat Levante to move clear of Atletico Madrid in the battle for third, because we all know Atletico keeps taking. Zip Thibaut.
Yeah, no, definitely. The La Liga shit is crazy, bro. But if we come back home in the PSL, we saw some riveting action at the FNB Stadium where Orlando Pirates were hosting Mamelodi Sundowns. Orlando Pirates' unbeaten streak in the Premiership ended in a disappointing fashion as they went down 2-1 to Mamelodi Sundowns in their game. Played at the FNB Stadium. Now, listen, gents, Wednesday night's results saw the Buccaneers lose for only the second time at home this season, with it being their third league defeat overall. They remain at the summit of the table, with the Brazilians closing the gap at the top to just 3 points. Again, another showing where Orlando Pirates show everyone else that they do not have the mental fortitude to get the job done. If Roy.
Yeah, Neil, that was painful. I have like like 2 houses away from mine. There's everyone in that household is a Pirates fan, and when Pirates score, like there was just noise, and then it was just quiet after that, and then that's when I knew that something is wrong. Yeah. Anyway, the Stellenbosch faced Magesi. Stellenbosch was at home. That match ended in a 1-all draw. Kevin Hunt basically is reflected on his side's performance after a 10-man Stellenbosch were held to a 1-all draw by Magesi FC in Wednesday's Betway Premiership encounter. Despite like the numerical disadvantage, the Maroons basically battled bravery. Very, very brave from them. They held on for a point. They held on for dear life, which actually helped the team to maintain a top 4 advantage point over Magesi in the league standings. Lebza?
Oh yeah, the Champions League was back, but it was back for those teams who could not crack the first top 8 to qualify.
Hey, Van Roy.
Sure.
Whatever. What did Van Roy do?
Akisib.
All right.
The white man is always the suspect.
Borussia Dortmund took a commanding step towards the UEFA Champions League knockout round, sweeping past Atalanta without Lookman does not look dangerous. Anyway, there were ruthless first half display in the Signal Iduna Park. Dortmund had goals from Girassi and Bayer, who seized control of the game early on, a half from which the visitors would simply never recover.
Absolutely, Lebza. We also saw the Champions League holders Paris Saint-Germain overcome a terrible start to a 2-goal deficit to beat a 10-man Monaco 3-2 in the first leg of their playoff tie. Ousmane Dembele came off injured after the 25th minute, and Desiree Doué came on as a super sub and completely took control of the game.
Yeah, sure. And in other matches, Novia for Men played against Benfica, of which they won that match 1-0. Real Madrid's Vinicius Junior. You know what? I'm gonna give a prop to this guy. The goal that he scored there was absolutely superb. A second half goal to secure a 1-0 victory at Benfica in this Champions League playoff. It's the first leg. I hope to see fireworks when they go to the Real Madrid's home. A match overshadowed by an alleged racist incident that basically led to a whole 11 minutes, bruh. 11 minutes stoppage. After a tight first half, Real Madrid broke through 5 minutes after halftime. So well done to you, bruh.
There was a video of a company talking about the racism incident, and he made it so nicely, just to talk and say, Jose Mourinho, instead of addressing the racism, goes ahead and talks about how Vinicius Jr. celebrated. What does celebration have to do with race? Like, I think he even mentioned that if you go play like in the countries like, I think he mentioned your Serbia, Hungary, and he said the black players there, they just have to keep quiet because then the majority are racist, so it's clear to see that Europe is still very backward. The brainwashing actually happened to them because they still believe what their forefathers said, who are trying to lie to them so that they can believe and go fight useless wars. But anyway, in football, racism should not actually count at all, and it's weird. So when their black player scores, they'll celebrate, but when a black player scores against them, they hate them. Anyway, the Bianconeri went into halftime with a 2-1 lead, and they were sure, I'm sure that they were smooth in Turkey, and they would actually walk away back to Italy with a 2-1 win. But shortly after the break, Noah Lang equalized from close range, and on the hour, Mr. Sanchez headed in. Bah! And after Juve's Cabal was sent off for 2 yellow cards, Lang lofted his second, and Bowie drifted in a fifth for the rampant Galatasaray Turkish side. So clearly the problems of Italy carry on in the Champions League, Roy.
Yeah, Lebza. I don't know if it is the network name, but you sound like you got auto tuned on there. It's like you sounding like AKA.
Really? You wait.
Yeah,
Okay, wait.
you
I'm
sound like
gonna
you.
restart. Carry on, carry on, carry on. I'm gonna restart.
Yeah, you sound like Fela in Versace. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, we continue in Champions League as well. On Wednesday, we had Olympiacos that faced Bayer Leverkusen. Olympiacos was at home. They suffered a 2-0 defeat. Um, what's this guy's name? Patrick Schick, ne? He scored
Yeah,
twice in 3 minutes as Bayer Leverkusen scored a 2-0 victory at the Olympiacos in the Champions League knockout playoff in the first leg, giving Casper what's his name? Holman, ne? I almost said
yes, sir.
Holland.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, hey,
he gave
yeah.
his he gave his side
Country
a
side.
significant advantage of the return match in Germany. I almost said Erasmus Holland.
I'm telling you, Lani. Yeah, they're probably cousins. Who knows?
Yeah, Lebza.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Just getting my bearings. Just getting my bearings. Can you carry on there for a few seconds?
Okay, so also we saw Club Brugge faced Atletico Madrid. Club Brugge was at home. They actually drew against the Atletico de Madrid, like Thibaut says. So
I,
yeah,
Baba, I want to pronounce it like you, Club Bruges.
yeah, that's you know what I said previously, Club Brugge. But then,
Yeah, but that was also fine. But
yeah,
that was
but
also
then,
fine.
but then because I know T-Boy and he knows people in Italy and all across the world, I have to do
Yeah.
this. I have to- but yeah, that match ended in a 3-all draw. Club Brugge basically shocked Atletico Madrid with a late equalizer. They thought they actually won it, but in the 89th minute, there was a goal that snatched a draw for Club Brugge as Atletico Madrid's defense problems in the Champions League continues, my friend.
Yeah, no, that was actually jam-packed, Van Roy. And moving on to the next game, I think that served up one of the biggest surprises of the
Yeah.
match day. Bodo Glimt
Aye.
took down Inter Milan 3-1 at home on the AstroTurf. Bodo Glimt scored 2 goals in 3 minutes to stun Inter Milan in a famous home win for the Norwegian champions. In the first leg of the Champions League playoff round, I think this is a great result. But if Inter Milan are anything to go by, then I'm sure they'll be hoping or putting all the faith in their own prospects to pull those 2 goals and subsequently try and get through to the next phase of the Champions League.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but yeah, that was an exciting watch. I didn't watch the full match, but then I always knew it, and I spoke to the guys like yesterday as well, and I said, Bodo Glimt, you cannot underestimate their team. You cannot. Also, we had Karabakh that faced Newcastle. Karabakh was at home. They suffered a 6-1 defeat. Anthony Gordon, they put this man in front, and I've been saying it to my friends. Put that guy in front, not in attacking midfield, but put him there up front. Let what's his name, Voltemade, play behind him as a support,
Mm.
and it really really paid off. Anthony Gordon in that match became the second player to ever score 4 goals in the first half of a UEFA Champions League match, which is very, very great for him, leading Newcastle United to a dominant 6-1 win over Karabakh in the first leg of their knockout stage matchup. That was a thriller.
Yeah, I don't know, Chance. Maybe I'm being unfair, but it was against Karabakh. It wasn't like
It was.
it wasn't like
It was
against
against
the top
Panama.
European team.
I agree with you.
Lebza normally would say that he scored a goal against carpenters type shit.
Yeah.
But like
Because really,
I don't
who,
want to be a
who,
weirdo. I
who,
don't want
who
to be a
is
weirdo.
Karabakh?
But
Who's
Karabakh,
Karabakh,
yeah,
bro? Who is
Karabakh.
Karabakh?
And you know how
Karabakh,
weird that country is, ne? But it's also a good. I don't know if it's a
Azerbaijan.
good thing. They yeah, they are from that place, ne? and that place sits basically half in Asia, half in Europe. So we don't even know if they're Asian or Europe or both.
Yo.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's definitely wild. Then we had some action from the Europa League on Thursday night. It kicked off with Panathinaikos and Victoria Plzeň playing out to a 2-all draw, 4 goals scored in that first game. Victoria Plzeň secured a hard-fought draw in their first leg encounter with Panathinaikos as the Czech side extended their impressive away form with just 1 defeat in 12 matches.
Look, the
Hey,
German
Lebza.
Cup holders. Yeah, the German Cup holders ensured that Celtic boss O'Neill's 1,000th game in charge ended in disappointment. They delivered because Canus put Stuttgart ahead in the first 15 minutes. Well, obviously, Negren also rounded off Nubel to level for the Scotland champions. Mara 4-1 down at home. Scotland champions are in. Thibaut.
Yeah, shit is crazy, man, because we also saw Greek side, PAOK. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. They were hosting Celta Vigo, who took them down 2-1. PAOK lost their first home game in any competition this season as they were beaten 2-1 by Celta de Vigo in the first leg of the Europa League playoff tie. Iago Aspas and Swedenborg fired the Celta de Vigo side to victory in the first leg. Elebza.
Vitor Pereira's first match in charge ended in an impressive Forest victory in Istanbul. I think that's how it starts all the time for Nottingham Forest managers. They always get this luck of starting with, victories, and then they think, oh, we've replaced this guy really well. And then when, the honeymoon period ends, then they start performing badly. I still say they should have kept Nuno. The Premier League side attacked from the off and deflected Murillo effort, put them ahead before Gibbs White, Steph Flick, set up Igor Jesus to head in his 7th of the campaign. So really good for the English side as they embarrassed another team from Turkey. I think the teams from Turkey, they probably should have caught one bus back so that they cry together as Galatasaray. Galatasaray didn't lose actually, so it's probably going to be funny when Galatasaray meets Fenerbahce fans.
Yeah, gentlemen. This week there were a lot of big games. In terms of I think what was being served up. Who would you say maybe was your player of the week or the game of the week?
I would say Bodo Glimt, team of the week for me.
Bodo Glimt are the team of the week. Okay.
Okay. I would say Sundowns. The way they played, they were very dominant, man. Like they played like how we know Sundowns plays when they want to play. They were really, really great. Those wing backs, Modao, he was immense, man. Like they are really good. Like when they really want to play. And this new kid, Silva, what is it? Not Silva. What is it? Da Silva or someone. Number 10. Dangerous that one. How he controls the ball. And then obviously strong man with strong legs, Mr. Brian Leon. No, sometimes it's still gonna be dangerous for years.
Yeah, and I there's no doubt there. There's no doubt, there's no debate. The game of the week. It was definitely Sundowns because for me, you know what, this was a chance for Pirates, to put out a statement, to show that this time around, we are the kings, or they would be, and I don't know, man, they just failed at every hurdle. And there's a player that Orlando Pirates signed. He came on in the second half. I don't know if you guys know him. He's also too young.
Yeah. From where is he?
Pardon?
From where is he?
I don't know if we got him from Stellies or what, ne, but his last name is De Jong. This guy, ne, he plays in the middle of the pitch. Hey, this guy. Ne, I don't, for the life of me, I don't understand why this guy is not in the first 11. Ne.
Yeah.
He is what Neil Tovey was when he played for Bafana or Kaiser Chiefs. Like that's
Mm.
how important this guy is. Just from what I
Yeah.
saw, in the cameo appearance
Yeah.
that he made. But yeah, that's neither here or there. Gents, are you all ready for the flops and props of the week?
Yeah.
Let's flop them. Let's prop them.
So
Thank you, Van Roy.
I'll start with the flops. So coming at you guys in first place, we have Serie A and its representatives that basically have given the worst account of themselves in Europe after resounding defeats across the continent. Coming at you in second place is Orlando Pirates that basically showed once again why Sundowns are still the favorites to retain this league title after failing to rise to the occasion or the challenge in the midweek clash. That is second. In third place, we have racism. This is pointing towards Vinny. Racism basically, it's an ugly thing. Once again, it's Vinicius Junior that scored the goal of the week. I think it just proves a point. You say, you know what? Call me whatever you want. I'm gonna shine.
Mm. Yeah.
Would you guys
No.
think? Yeah.
You know what? All the racists, I think they just need 50 cents, like 50 cents will hurt all of them. But anyway,
Yeah.
I actually think 50 Cent should create a superhero because I'm sure he can hurt anyone, right? Thibaut. Anyway, for me, racism definitely is my flop of the week. The fact that we know, you know what, to all the racists that are watching, even if you're racist, keep it at home, keep it at home, right? Build your own little black statue and hate it and swear at it. But when you get out, just get along with the world, get along with the world. All right, that's it.
So, Rene, I just want to ask Lebza,
Mm.
what do you think would be the most effective way to deal with or combat racism?
So if a person is racist like to another person, and it obviously can be proven, the issue sometimes is obviously you don't want someone also falsifying a racism thing. Do you understand? And saying someone called him whatever and they didn't. So first of all, that makes it an issue that now you can't actually go ahead and say when it's reported, act.
Yeah.
So when it's reported, it needs to be investigated, right? So it's investigated, it needs to be proven. Once proven, that person needs to get a ban like they doped. Do you understand? Like a doping ban, 6 months, a year, do you
Yeah.
understand? And not playing. So
Paul
that they
Pogba
can
shit.
feel it in. Yeah, so they can feel it in their tummy, feel it in their money, and also feel it in their emotions. So and also the club needs to train them on soft skills. We get along. Intercultural, whatnot is what football is all about. So they also need to be put on what you call this in community service, where they help underprivileged whatnot with something. So they have to punish them. The only way to create a culture is to make sure that good behavior is rewarded and bad behavior is punished.
It's true. It's 100% true. My flop of the week also is the racism. I think in this life and time, in football, on that
Mm.
stage, you get me. It's a very very big stage. There's millions of people watching all across the globe, and you're not setting a good example for anybody. One, number two, that person also is a person at the end of the day. Everyone has
Mm.
feelings, everyone has emotions. I do side with you, Lebza. I feel that they are not punishing these people enough or, equivalent to what they've actually done. They must be
Mm.
banned, they must dog their wages, and I think the team, the club itself needs to get a fine for it as well. So rather
Yeah.
hit them where it hurts the most. That's my
Yes.
take on it.
I agree with you. Thibaut.
Yeah, gents, I think both of you hit the nail right at the head there. Nah? But I don't know, I just have this thing, at the back of my tongue, that like I don't feel like the authorities there actually give a damn. Because
No,
if
they
you
don't.
Yeah.
if you look at if for example you just look at the footage from when it actually transpired, right? There's a moment where I don't know, the production team from the Champions League, they actually zoomed in like on the referee when Vinicius Junior, like was telling him what actually took place. Like
Mm.
first and foremost, he was very dismissive of what Vinicius Junior said. But thereafter, I don't know, like after a couple of seconds, then it kicked in what he was supposed to do, you see. And if you look
Mm.
at the manner in which the crowd behaved after that particular moment, I mean, in terms of the volume for racism, it went from 3 to 20. It like literally just went through the roof.
Escalated.
And then when
Mm.
you look at the post game comments from Jose Mourinho, like I heard Lebza say that he saw the video from Vincent Company saying 1, 2, 3, this, that, and the third, right? But I think Jose Mourinho echoed, the general feeling around how the rest of them feel about black people in Europe, you see. So I don't feel like this is gonna change anytime soon. Me,
Ish.
I used to be against the black players dating the European women, but the more this racism thing keeps on going, I think that the black guys should date more and more and more of these white girls, and that's probably another way maybe that this racism thing will end. But with that being said, my flop of the week is the Serie A. I think for the longest time I've been in denial, gents. Ne? I think
Yeah.
my love for the Serie A has clouded my judgment, ne?
Yeah.
And I've been a staunch supporter of the Serie A. But there's just no getting away from the midweek results. The Serie A, gents, is dead. CPR won't work. They need some type of Dr.
Mhm.
Frankenstein plan. I don't know, to bring back the league, because the manner in which they're doing things now, I don't know, man, it's not working. They do not have any youth developing, or they do not have any youth that's playing in the would-be big teams. They are not competing on the European continent. When they are on the European continent, they get lambasted, walked over by all these teams. It's crazy, Jen. So my flop of the week is definitely the Serie A. Yeah, that's
Hallelujah.
a long house song there. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Oh,
Finally, finally, you agree.
yeah, I know it's bad, gents. It's bad. But then here are the props of the week, gentlemen. Nominee number 1, we have Galatasaray, who took the Bianconeri Juventus to the cleaners. The second nominee, we have Desiree Doué, who came off the bench to rally the PSG side to a famous win against their bitter rivals. And lastly, we have Wolves, who kicked off the almighty Butler as would-be EPL or Premier League champions Arsenal dropped more points. Who are you going with, Van Roy?
Me, I'm going with Galatasaray, Baba.
Galatasaray, ne?
Yeah, that was not defeat. They annihilated Juve.
It was bad.
It was.
Hey,
Look,
Lebza.
as a City fan, I would definitely just go for Wolves, man. Thank you, Wolves. I didn't even know they were playing. I didn't even know. I only just, while I was at the gym, I'm like, as I'm on the elliptical, I see the Wolves versus Arsenal highlights. And what? 1-1. It actually just improved my mood. Like, it just made me greet people at gym. Hola, hola. Oh, no, no, no. Like, I started becoming a nice person. So thank you, Wolves. Thank you, Wolves, for yesterday's energy. I appreciate you, because then it allowed us as City fans to now dream and say, actually, Thibaut, to echo your picture that you sent in the group, where when Pep was showing how to finish off the league and Arteta was busy playing Candy Crush.
Yeah, I see that one. He was sitting behind him, ne? And then he was showing
Yeah,
us on the page on the laptop
Yeah,
to say, look, this is how you win. And then he was like this.
he's playing Candy Crush or on
I think that
ChatGPT.
was sent by Mawande. Hey.
Mm. was playing ChatGPT.
Chance, my prop of the week is Desiree Due. Chance, this
Yeah.
boy, yeah. How can I say this without being a weirdo? If Desiree Due somehow managed to find his way to Barcelona, he'll win the Ballon d'Or. Fun.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he can't do it at PSG. I just feel like at PSG, you know, it's Dembele's team. You know what I mean? But at Barcelona, if because I know he's a Messi fan, this is why I'm specifically saying Barcelona. If Desiree Due somehow found a way to find himself as a Barcelona player, everyone is in trouble. I don't want to lie.
And you're 100% correct in saying that PSG is Dembele's team. Remember, Dembele was also in the shadows a couple of years back when the big dogs were there. And now that the big dogs are gone, it's his show now. And
Dembele is the most silent Ballon d'Or winner in the last couple of years. Like really, he's done nothing this year. Like after winning the Ballon d'Or, where you like, did you see Dembele? Like that went viral. That's on TikTok or sent everywhere. Like Dembele won the Ballon d'Or and he's like Rodri. Rodri won the Ballon d'Or and got injured, and we forgot about him. You know, like
I just want to finish off by saying, you know what, Desire Due will fit very, very well in Barca's team based on how they play, how he plays. I think how he plays and the system that they have at Barcelona, it will complement each other and they will really, really flourish. He will win a Ballon d'Or if he can really go to the Catalonian side. I really think so.
Next year, we are getting Julian Alvarez, guys. So don't worry. We are winning everything. But anyway, to all of our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. This week wasn't about routine victories. No. As Barca and Arsenal and Juve found out strongly. Roy?
Yeah, let me tell you what it was about. It was about pressure that exposed cracks in teams like Arsenal, Barcelona, and Milan. It was about European humiliation based on the Serie A sides. It was mental resilience, PSG, Sundowns, and Dortmund. And it was fairy tale defiance, Bodo Glimt, and what's the other team's name? Macclesfield. Yeah, I don't know where they are from, but Macclesfield, it sounds very, very English. Despite defeat, they basically showed defiance. Thibaut?
Yeah, no, listen, gentlemen, and with the title race tightening up across Europe, specifically England, Spain, Italy, and also here in home ground advantage in South Africa, football now is getting to the penultimate stage. We're heading towards the end of February. It's crunch time, gentlemen. Thank you again to all our viewers for tuning in. Thank you, gentlemen, for another amazing show. I just hope Barcelona can get a win this weekend because I don't like seeing this version of Lebza. You know, Van Roy. I don't know, Van Roy. Maybe you can chip in. Maybe you have some words of motivation, you know, for the mood engineer there.
If you can look at how he's
maybe you can read him a passage out of the Liverpool Bible. I don't know.
Okay. Lebza, this one is for you, just to pick your spirit up, for Barcelona, versus Madrid in the race for the crown, for the trophy, It doesn't mean that he's ahead, that he's actually winning. Okay, you are right where you want him to be. It's not that far off, but there is going to be triumph and there is going to be victory. Visca Barça, Visca Catalonia.
Yeah, you know what? I just want a perfect victory this week where we show that we are actually too hectic. But anyway, let me go have some dinner. Have a what you call this thing? have a nice little drink for my team. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, nee, sure. Sure, Lebsa.